It's got like a spinny wheel. Oh, there we go. We're live. It's Monday night. Hello. It's hot as hell, and I'm in a strange place. It's actually Glen's kitchen for the wrap up. We are F2F IRL for the first time. Welcome to the Team Superdad wrap up. Roll theme. In a minute. Roll theme.
I thought you were pressing one of those.
Welcome to Team Super Dad. Real dads creating their best lives ever. More time, more money, more fun. You are not alone. You're on Team Super Dad.
And
I can see myself on this screen, and I can see you there, and I can see you here, and I know that it's like both it's the same place. But this is wonderful, and I love it, and it's the first time ever, and this is amazing.
You're muted. You have to.
What am I muted? What have I done to you?
No, wait.
I've muted this thing. Like
Unmute. Can't unmute your guest because they chose to mute themselves.
What I've muted, so I need to unmute on this thing.
Oh no, you are coming out. No, you're muted on there. Yeah, okay, right.
Yeah, I'm muted here, but not muted here, which is going through there, which is coming out in there. And I mean, this is crossing the streams moment.
That's how I've got so confused. Literally crossing the streams, Ghostbusters. I don't know whether to look at the screen or look you in the eye.
I keep looking here, thinking, should I be directing this to the audience? And I was like, you're here. I can't.
I know.
Like, no.
Joe,
I'm just going to talk to you. Yeah. And then let's let the camera work its magic.
We think Joe Rogan. They never look at the camera.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. The audience are with us, but they're not purely the people we're talking to.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us, everybody who's coming into the live now. I can see you coming in on the screen. If you're wondering, like, what the hell Glenn and I are warbling on about, we are literally face to face in Glen's kitchen.
I mean, I'm going to reach out. I'm going to touch your shoulder. You can see I'm touching your shoulder. That's my hand. That's not Johnny's hand. This is so weird.
This is really weird. It is. I feel like I'm at a school disco or something. I don't quite know what to do.
This is why you were single for so long.
Well, quite possibly. If I wasn't sweating enough already, I'm now. I think I'm actually perspiring on my forehead. Yeah. So this is the Team Superdad wrap up, and welcome. This is episode 45. We're actually on episode 81 of the Team Superdad podcast, and we do the wrap up. On a Monday now, we wrap up our weekend, everything that's happened during the week, and during the week, I generally get together with someone more sensible and intelligent than you or I.
Last week was amazing, the bankruptcy one.
Oh, that was just me.
But that was really good. That was. If you haven't watched it online, I'm going to look at you now. If you haven't watched it, have a look. It's a really good. And yes, I know you've done all the caveats of you're not a financial advisor and all that sort of stuff. But the journey you went through and the impact it could have if other people listen to that and learn from it and either took some advice or did things differently. Do it. Watch it. Learn from it.
Oh, yeah, thank you. It is a real life experience, and yes, if you go back and watch it, you'll see that. Oh, in fact, it's not been out as a podcast. It's in the Team Superdad. You have to join Team Superdad.
Where do you join Team Superdad?
So if you go to teamsuperdad.com/group, you can get access into the group. And
how much does that cost, Johnny?
Well, nothing.
Nothing.
No.
Freebie. Are you sure?
Exactly. You can join the Hero Academy.
Oh my God. And there's more.
Well, the Hero Academy is our 8-week accelerator, turbocharge your dad life. But inside the Team Superdad group, we're just hanging out, having a laugh. And on a Tuesday, we do a training session. And then so the training stays there for free, gratis, for about 48 hours. And then it just drifts off into the Hero Academy and becomes basically paid for content. But that, how I avoided bankruptcy one, I think that'll probably stay there because it's such an invaluable conversation.
I mean, it's something that so many dads struggle with. I mean, even when I was not, regardless about being a single dad, just being a married dad, just money is something that people just don't talk about. We're not taught how to do money, and I was saying to my daughter who's just got her first job, the only lessons that I ever got taught as a child was which money lenders you hide from and which money lenders you're okay to talk to. That's and how to genuinely how to negotiate with a corner shop, because you're getting your benefits check in like a week. Now, can I give you some bread and, and beans and shit in the meantime? That's the money skills I learned. You don't learn the real stuff that's going to stop you getting into that mess.
Getting it on tick from the news.
Yeah, you have to negotiate with Bill.
Yeah. But so basically, you can listen to that and find out the premise of it, but it's not as bad as what. But if it's mainly personal debt, the credit cards and stuff like that, there's don't panic. Basically, that's the amazing thing. In fact, I'll sum it up in 3 words or 2 words: nothing happens. and when the person who told me all about this told me that, I didn't believe him, and then I did what he told me to do, and sure enough, nothing happens.
Yeah, nobody dies.
Yeah. So if you are listening, then by all means, please like, subscribe, share, do the whole thing, because we definitely want to spread the word of Team Super Dad to as many dads and families as possible out there. And like I said, this is Glenn and I's ramble through our week, taking the piss, fixing the world, and letting you guys know what we've been up to. When I was in the fiery pit of being the single dad, like the early days, listening to podcasts and having a bit of a laugh was kind of my saving grace, like a lifeline. So if you are listening for the first time, this was always the intention of the wrap up, was that this would be a bit of a laugh, a bit of a lifeline for us all.
But I guess for me, it's also, as a single dad, as I am now and have been for a while, it's also, you don't always get to go down a pub with your mates. And you lose that time when you can just hang out with a bunch of guys and just chat shit. You know, at the end of the day, who goes to a pub with an agenda? You don't. You go there and you don't know what you're going to talk about, but you know you're going to turn up every time you start, and you're going to leave. And in between, you don't know what the fuck you're going to talk about, but you end up having a great laugh. You don't know, and that's what the wrap up's about. It's just about hanging out with people. And if you're online now, then being able to share your thoughts and be able to share your comments and so on, and being part of a conversation with a bunch of guys who just, you don't know what's going on, but you're just going to say some stuff, see where it goes. You just hopefully enjoy a drink along the way.
Indeed. And as you can see on the screen now, I'll bring it up in a second. You can comment and ask a question as we're talking along. Sadly, I don't always see them.
Too engrossed.
And some of them, which channel it is, I think it's on my personal profile. It doesn't come up basically, but yeah, it is ferociously hot, Glenn. We're sat here in what are we in middle of July, Freedom Day.
It is Freedom Day. Freedom from the oppression of not killing people. Are you free to kill people now?
Well, a lot of people have been asking what is Freedom Day,
it's a load of fucking bullshit, isn't it? I mean, I'm not gonna. I normally mince my words and I'm middle of the road, you know. I'm fucking card carrying Lib Dem, but it's a load of fucking bollocks, isn't it? These people, you know, there were people protesting today about not being in lockdown. We're not in lockdown. They're saying, "Oh, we don't want to wear masks." You're not having to wear masks. It's like, what the fuck are you You're protesting to win the freedoms you have now got, and you're fighting with police about it. Come on, you fucking knob state.
This is like that bit in Anchorman when the different news teams.
Exactly. Yeah. Channel 6 News.
What are you fighting for? Well, we want masks. You fucking pagan wankers, mask twats.
But someone else on Twitter, as of today, are you like what's the verdict? Are you going to be masking or unmasking?
In high density places, I think I'll wear a mask. In a supermarket, if it's busy, I think I'll wear a mask, probably out of decency for other people. Mm-hmm. But then bizarrely, we were talking about going to the match the other day. I'd probably wear the mask on the tube to the match, but probably not wear it at the match.
I can see why you do that. For me, it's the science hasn't changed. The science is exactly the same. The only thing that's changed is politicians' willingness to give in to the pressure groups. That's it. That's the only thing that's changed. The scientists are still saying this is bad, this is dangerous. Cases are going up again. Now, yes, they're not resulting in nearly as many deaths, but there's still people catching COVID, and it's bad. And so if the science hasn't changed, like for me, that still means if the preventative method is wear a mask, I mean, it doesn't hurt me at all.
I agree. I'll stick a mask on when it's sensible, basically, and I'll be glad not to have to wear one at times when it seemed a bit ridiculous.
Yeah,
like late night in Tesco's, and there's like clearly me, some random like mum desperately trying to get nappies in because she's run out of formula or something, and an old bloke who's just finished his shift, and one person at the till, and like we've all got a mask on, and it's like this doesn't make sense. But yeah, so much ridiculous chit chat on. What do you think? Well, I think it's ridiculous. Of course, you would feel different if someone close to you had died.
And that's the thing for me. I was like, I read it's probably apocryphal, but a story about someone in a lift, and they were wearing a mask, and a load of people in the lift weren't wearing a mask. And I go, well, you shouldn't be wearing a mask, because like you don't need to wear a mask. It's fake. He's like, oh, thank God for that. He pulls his mask off and says, yeah, I can't believe it. Everyone else hates the fact that I've got COVID, but I'm like you guys don't mind. And all of a sudden these guys are walking away from us. Like, well, that's the point. You don't know if you don't know if you've got COVID, because some people can be asymptomatic. And so if you genuinely would snog someone who's got COVID, you know what? Fine, don't wear a mask. If you're that sort of a nut job, go for it. Get yourself out the gene ball. But the rest of us, it's just about, we don't know whether we've got COVID. It's not about protecting ourselves. It's about protecting other people.
I'm down with that. Yeah. And as for the like, let's string Boris up and he's a nutter. I think it's summer. I think we've got to go for it to see what happens. Otherwise,
how many people die. Who cares about you said?
No, I know that's a bit harsh to say. But do you ever watch any of the old World War II like stuff on History Channel and stuff?
Occasionally.
It is mad what they used to do. They like, did you know like all the British tanks were shit?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
All the British tanks didn't work at all, right? But they just made tank after tank. It's like, oh, don't worry, we got the Mark II Shitsville tank, right? Off we go. Hello, Tommy, got a new tank for you. Brilliant. How many? 50. Yeah, get out there. All broke down, all blown up. All the German tanks, flipping awesome. Sherman tanks, blah, blah. It wasn't until the Yanks turned up with their tanks that we started to make progress. For the whole rest of the war, we were just knocking out Robin Reliance with a gun on the front of it.
You can just imagine Rodney with a bazooka.
Basically that, a Robin Reliant with a makeshift bazooka on the front. So yeah, I think we're a bit like that. Basically, we're just giving it a go, hoping for the best.
Yeah.
Which some people aren't okay with that. And I'm kind of like a bit sort of British stiff upper lip, sort of like, yeah. And today was my son's, we are in my son's last week of school. It was their leavers barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
Sports day tomorrow. The mum, her weekend, they took them down to see friends and family, not seen them for about a year. Sod's bloody law. Did a lateral flow on the Friday, had a lovely weekend, gets the phone call this morning. One of her mates, because she's a teacher, did a lateral flow, tested positive.
Oh man, that's awful. How's he feeling?
He cried. He cried because he's missing the barbecue. My daughter cried for 3 hours straight because she's missing sports day. I'm not going to see her for 10 days. But the only thing we can hope is that the proper test comes back negative, and then we're all good to go. Curiously, it has led to me and the ex having probably one of the friendliest conversations since since we broke up, because clearly there was a shit bit before we broke up. So probably the friendliest conversation we've had in about 8 years, all because they've got to self-isolate. So
I mean, silver linings and all that, but that's a very thin silver lining around a fucking big cloud.
Yeah, my boy's going to miss his last week of primary school. That is a bit harsh.
Yeah, that's awful. My oldest daughter, she's at primary school, and it's her last couple of days as well. So we're recording this on a Monday, and so her last day is on a Wednesday. And for the last couple of days, for the few month or so, she's been wanting to walk in by herself because she's going to secondary next year, and so she wants to get used to walking by herself. But for the last couple of days, she's like, "Dad, do you want to walk me to school?" And as much as I'd love a Leighton, I'm never going to say so. My eldest daughter, she's 16, so I took her to her last day of year 11 recently, and I figured I've got to see this. I'm never going to have the chance to walk my little girl to school again. she's just not going to want that. So I had to say yes.
Well, totally. I made a video on Jago's first day at school,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just super cute. He's 5 years old, and the video starts.
bless him.
What's this video about? Oh, this is about my first day at school. You won't have heard of it. It's called Jubilee Primary School, and then it goes into it. So it's, yeah, and then I was going to kind of recreate this.
Mhm.
That's just gone to shit now.
Well, yeah, but I know that they might do something. Surely they might do some sort of summer get together, a picnic or
I know, but to
something,
recreate the
or-
first day of school video, I'd have to get I'd have to get like 100 people together. I mean,
Oh, like the full thing? Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
so yeah. So that's been. I'm getting kind of used to this now. I'm getting kind of more comfortable with seeing you like literally
Physically
across
see
the
me.
table.
I mean, I've got to say, I'm trying not to look in the camera too much because I look like dog shit. I got to say, I'm sitting here I've got a Barcelona shirt. This is a Barcelona shirt. It's got Ronaldinho on the back. I had to teach my kids who Ronaldinho was because they don't appreciate. They're young. Ronaldinho was at his peak in 2006, 7, 8.
This is the Brazilian player, kind of thin face, bit permy hair on top,
big gap tooth.
Yeah.
Didn't sign for Real Madrid because he was too ugly. They signed Beckham instead, even though Ronaldinho was the better player. Went to Barcelona, won the Ballon d'Or, and was basically the Messi before Messi. The only reason they got rid of him was because he was a party boy and he was going to lead Messi off the rails. And but on my in 2006, I got a new job at a local authority in London, Tattle Hamlets Council, and within like a few months or so there, I realised the director of my service was a massive Woolwich fan. Now, this was the year Woolwich made the Champions League final. And so, of course, on the day of the Champions League final, I've turned up on an all-staff meeting with 150 people there, everyone else suited and booted, me sitting there in a Barcelona shirt because they were playing in the final. And that night, of course, Barcelona not only beat them, but beat them quite well. And so I photoshopped. I got pictures of him. He'd been awarding youth work awards to young people.
Yeah.
I photoshopped him out of that, like awarding things, into photos of him awarding Champions League trophy to Ronaldinho and just loads of pictures of the final, and just left it on his desk. And people in the office were like, "Oh, I can't believe you're doing that. That's really mean. I mean, that's a bit beyond the pale." He totally got it.
Totally good banter.
Exactly.
Good.
If you're going to be there, I didn't get fired.
That's always a measure of how far the banter has been taken. Yeah. Just for the non-viewing listeners, Glenn's shirt is quite tight, actually.
Oh no, it's tight now. It wasn't tight when I wore. I shit you not.
But it's really hot today. You must. I mean, I'm hot.
I'm steaming. But for the Euro finals last week, I dressed up like Gareth Southgate because obviously I've got there's a
passing
resemblance,
yeah.
And it involved putting a waistcoat on. Now, I thought I'd just be able to just grab one of the many waistcoats in my wardrobe and just slip it on. Oh, no, my friend. I have put on inches. For the first time in my life, I don't fit in my wedding suit. This is not right. I've put on about 1.5 inches around the chest and the stomach and everything. Yeah, I am chunky.
I told you. I don't want to be the one that say
You're
I told
saying
you so.
I'm fat.
No, I
That's what
did.
you're
No,
saying. You're saying I'm fat.
over the last few months, I did say
I'm looking chunky.
it's happening. You're 40.
You're looking at me. You're saying I've got a fat face.
No. You were like, I'm the fit forever. I'm like destined to, I'm like I'm a unicorn basically. I'm a unicorn.
I found a waistcoat. It just was. There's some of them that were skinny fit.
Was it the Father
I'm
Christmas
no
one from
longer
the
skinny
dress up
fit.
bag?
I definitely have standing up only shirts now. Yeah, they're ones where if I sit down, they kind of open up a little bit.
So we got to get you fit then. That's what's going to happen.
Well, how the fuck would I be fit?
No, we've got to get you fit.
Yeah, how am I going to get fit? I haven't got time for this.
No, we're going to do a little bit each day. Super Dad workout. I'm on day 4 of cycle 2.
Wait a minute, you were on day 28 last time we spoke, or something like that, or of your the fitness in 30 days?
Super Dad workout, 30-day challenge, or 30-day, basically a 30-day workout, basically. And so I got to day 30. No, in fact, yeah.
So just because some people this might be the first. What the fuck are you doing for 30 days? Is this like 30 days of hardcore
no.
cycling? What's the one where you stand up and you cycle and you nearly got spin? 30 days of spin and shit like that.
It could be if you wanted to be, but the point of the 30-day Super Dad workout is that whatever level of fitness you're at, that's where you join.
Mm-hmm.
So if you literally can only walk a flipping kilometer, that's what you're going to do. Because if you did it in half an hour last time, now we want to do it in 25 minutes. If you can do 5 press-ups on your knees, then we're going to work towards 10 press-ups on your knees and 1 proper one. So that's like where you're at. Obviously, if you're fit, like I am, then
yes, you are.
Then it kind of,
you beat me like 3 minutes or 2 minutes or 1 minute on that 10K run. I mean, that makes you well fit.
I was like the teacher at like some sort of outdoor sports kind of adventure.
Come on, children. Come on. Hurry up. This is your own time you're wasting.
I was barely sweating.
I was dying.
But point being, Super Dad workout, it's like a park run. So the people at the front of the race can flip in, do a mega time and win the thing. The people who are in the middle are just trying to keep fit. And the people at the back are just like, want to be there, want to do something, want to get involved. And that's my point, is that all dads have to be doing some kind of fitness. You got to, because it helps you with work, it helps you with your confidence, it helps you with your sex life, it helps.
And let's be honest, as a dad, and I don't know if this is your motivation, but for me, and it sounds ridiculous, but I want to be there to see my grandkids. I want to be there to enjoy time with my kids. And so many dads, they just don't even think about it. They just think, yeah, we'll sort it out, it'll be fine. And then you get really unfit, and it becomes like a proper health issue. Yeah. And I don't want to get in a position where I can't play football with my kids and then hopefully football with my grandchildren. Now, if I can do something now that's going to set me up for then, what the fuck wouldn't I?
Growing out of your clothes is a measure of, I need to get a bit fitter.
Oh, let me be clear. These were growing out of my skinny clothes. I've got some, what is it, super slim or super skinny shit. I used to think, I'll show this. I'm at most a medium.
So it's clear. You've been on dates and worn skinny jeans.
Oh yes, yeah, of course I have.
Okay, so paint the picture of the outfit. So you're meeting in a bar.
Looked like I was wearing denim lycra.
What kind of shoes?
See the hairs on my
legs. Pair of
it.
Pointy kind of winkle picker type pointy.
Pointy. Not quite. But no, I've worn relatively tight. And it's the thing, because I'm a slender guy. You kind of was. I'm hardly fucking.
That's more of a paunch.
The hurricane.
No, it's more of a paunch. Is a paunch.
I actually now have I can. I'm sitting here and
it's hanging over.
It's slightly chubby. You know.
Have you gone up in a waist size?
No, because it's slightly over that. So my waist is still there, but I've got some bulk around above that. And I think it's weird. I don't dislike how I look. I just want it to be toned and shit like that. I just want to look like some sort of Greek god, basically.
But then that's the whole point. You don't want to look like a Greek god, because that would take a massive amount of effort.
Whoa. I didn't say I didn't want to put any effort into it. I don't want to do any effort. I just want to look like this. If you can click your fingers and make it happen, then I am signing up.
I can. It's about doing it consistently. That's the whole point of the Team Super Dad workout. Is you're going to just get down, take 15 minutes exercise each day. Ideally, at least 1 5K run or walk in the week. 30 minutes should be anyone's target for 5K, basically. So I do 5K in about 26 minutes. Yeah, no, I know that, and this is a message for those people that can't do that. They couch to 5K kind of crew, which is bloody brilliant, by the way.
The amount of people who've been inspired to just start doing stuff, and they've ended up doing absolutely incredible. Like they run way more miles than I ever done.
I have to shut my mouth when people turn back to couch to 5K, because I'm like, you can't do a fucking 5K. What are you talking about? And so I have to go all diplomatic. The inner voice says, Johnny, be gracious.
Yeah.
It's good that they're exercising.
Yeah, we're not all like you, my friend. We're not all someone who can just do 30 hours of exercise every day.
Because I do have...
Every single day.
It's not diagnosed, but I do have some kind of mild Tourette's.
Okay.
Right? It's if there's something that you shouldn't say, my brain, just for kicks.
You haven't got the inside voice.
No, just for kicks, my brain goes, dare you to say that? And I'm like, well, don't even mention that. So, for example, a good friend of mine, Justine Watkins, when she was about 12, we get round to her house, and as we arrive, the dad says, a bit awkward, Fox has killed the rabbits. So everyone's a bit upset, right? So we go through to the kitchen.
Yeah.
And they're cooking something, or it smells a bit burnt, right? So I go, blimey, it smells good. What is it? Burnt rabbit, right?
Oh, God.
So clearly it's not funny.
No, that is funny.
No, well,
inappropriate, but not funny.
So the lads are laughing, and I'm kind of going, oh no. So it just came out. And that's the point. If you say, don't mention the war, I'm like, you invaded Poland, it just kind of comes out. So yeah. Is that Tourette's?
Well, I don't know what it is. I think it is. Yeah, I mean, it definitely is rudeness. I mean, whether you've got an excuse for it is another discussion.
Oh, well, that's the sort of thing I've dropped that clanger at weddings as well. I know we've got some weddings coming up, summer weddings, Freedom Day. There's people getting married today with people at the wedding. It was a classic blokes one. I was at a friend's wedding. I said to the bride's sister, luckily it wasn't the bride, but I said to the bride's sister, and it was actually sister-in-law. She looked like she was having a baby.
No, whoa, no.
So I
know. I mean,
I did it.
I can see where this is going. You didn't do it.
I did.
You can't do it. No, there's no way.
She took it quite well. She said, no, I had them about 8 months ago. I'm just still really fat. So she just, she sort of laughed it off. I was more mortified than she was. But.
Yeah, I would have. I don't know what I'd done in that situation. I mean, you can't dig upwards.
The good thing for me is because I've done it so often, I'm okay with how much of a hole I've put myself in. And I just have to kind of fall on the sword and kind of go, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And equally, I didn't mean it. But also I'm trying not to laugh as well because
because it is quite funny.
It is quite funny, yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, I'm going to have to avoid this. It's my sister's wedding on Friday. My sister's getting married on Friday. She's got a 5 o'clock wedding, which is quite American. I've not been to too many Friday night weddings.
Oh, that is quite American.
Yes,
but British. If you translate last Sunday's Euros, basically the blokes are going to get together at lunchtime. This has got disaster written all over it.
Yeah, we're getting. Yeah, this is going to be a bad. I mean, I've got my kids that night. I think I probably shared on the last pod how unhappy my ex-wife was about the fact my son got, we shall say, he got married.
It was his first alcohol experience that you're aware of.
It's not his first alcohol experience, but his first drunken experience.
Okay.
And how he got a bit drunk and then was violently aware of the after effects of that the next day. He ran to his mum's house.
So it was like you did a poo in a bag and gave it to someone.
Absolutely. Shove that through the door. You can deal with that yourself. But she's it's normally on a Friday night we do the handover, and this time around I think I said, look, we can either do it so I can drop them back to yours, or you can have at mine. They can stay at mine. And so thankfully this time she's going to get them to stay at mine. Not get them, she's allowing me to have my kids for the extra night. And so I'm just going to make sure my son doesn't get absolutely so hammered that he's going to vomit everywhere, because I don't want him clearing that shit up.
Well, yes, you don't want that.
But equally, it's because it's a wedding. Now, I know this isn't a single dad's podcast, but I am a single dad, and I'm turning up to this wedding. Now, I've been to a few weddings since I've been single, and everyone says, "Oh, weddings are a great place to meet people." How many women do you think are single women? Out of all the women that have attended every wedding that I've been to since I've been single over 4.5 years, how many single women have there been there?
Low. I think very few single women are at weddings because it's a couples thing. even single blokes, you're getting invited because you're family. You don't,
Yeah.
yeah.
It
messes up the table plan. You've got like an odd seat.
Exactly. And there's been one single woman, and she was the mother of the bride, and she was not up for it.
Yeah, but I had to ask her because she was one.
But so one single woman. So I'm going to be, and my my future brother-in-law to be has been messaging. We've been sorting out stuff for the groom's party and what roles and what we're doing.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Can you get this and do this and so on?" And when the first dance comes along, we'll do the first bit, and then like halfway through, I'll kind of nod, and then if you could all just grab your missus and join us on a dance floor, mate, what the fuck am I going to do? Like,
thanks. I'm not sensitive about it. Nothing. Cheers.
What? I mean, I could draft people in, but this is a COVID restricted wedding. And I tell you what, I've popped it onto Twitter. I've had lots of offers of women who would say, "Yeah, I'll turn up and just do the dance." But I can't, because it's such a COVID restricted wedding. We can't just invite random people. So I can't even use it as like an excuse to get a random woman in to enjoy the evening with me.
Oh, that could be. You could like. Plus, like a +1 strategy.
Yeah.
Is this a dating strategy? The +1 strategy?
Oh, totally. No, I would happily invite a +1 if it wasn't COVID. But equally, if anyone out there, any, I'll say attractive, anyone, you know, I fucking love a good wedding. If someone needs a +1, I'm a bloody brilliant +1, and I will happily turn up to any wedding. And as long as you give me a bit of a briefing, about like how we met and romance and all that sort of shit, what I should know and what I shouldn't know, I will woo the shit out of your family, and so they will keep off your back for months and months about whether you're going out and meeting people. I will just fucking destroy it. It'll be great.
It's like a male escort, basically.
Yes. Yeah. Pimp me. I'm happy to be pimped out, people. I mean, I'm looking down the camera and saying, yeah, pimp this, dad. No,
but I think, but to pull it back from that line of work, it's a +1 strategy. I think it's a whole new dating strategy. It's called the +1 strategy, and it's a fun way to meet. You look in, you know, there's not like a commitment there either. There's not an awkwardness about being stuck with people. It's just. And those people need someone. They want someone fun to go with.
Oh, and I'll be the life of the party.
Maybe people could leave a review of like how good a +1 you were.
What, rate my date.
Rate my +1. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then is it like an extras, like an advanced section? We do a drop down for extras.
Oh yeah. That's negotiable. Yeah. I mean that's outside of the rates. I'll turn up for travel rates and a couple of drinks, but you know, beyond that, we have to negotiate.
Do you have a rider? So you say
yes.
no travel lodge.
No Premier Inn, but for very serious reasons.
They have a good buffet at Premier Inn.
They do, but I've got my reasons. Yeah, Lenny Henry did bad things to me.
Okay. That is brilliant. Oh man. Okay. This is a whole new thing. We should start a website.
Yeah.
+1s. Could be a new dating phenomenon. I got sent an invite, obviously slightly outside of my remit right now, but I got sent an invite for it was a music-based dating app.
Oh yeah. Tell me more. What do you mean? It was like Spotify, you my guy?
No, I'd have to dig out the stuff. It's all in Facebook invites and stuff. You basically, the premise is that if we like the same music, then the kind of places we go, our time of life, age, interest, like music can define so much about a person.
Yeah.
And so literally your dating profile is your musical taste.
So what would be if you know, you see that your photos, what would be your top 5? So either the tracks or albums or artists that you would put down that would absolutely describe who you are as a person?
Oh, that's deep. I don't think I can answer that without sitting here for ages and completely ruining the pod or the live stream. But in a slightly different answer to your question, I was thinking the other night about what would my musical, if I was to illustrate my life as a musical timeline.
Yeah.
Okay, so it does kind of answer the question. We were driving in the car and David Bowie came on. David Bowie or Bowie? Would it be Bowie? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. David Bowie. I'd say Bowie rather than Bowie.
So let's dance. Put on your red shoes and dance.
Post Ziggy Stardust phase.
Yes.
Okay. Whereas I think Ziggy Stardust is it's the greatest album of all time.
I know, but there's a story.
Yeah,
I got bought a Walkman.
incredible.
No, not the album. I got bought a Walkman at an airport. We were going on a skiing holiday, and I was like, "What album should I buy?" And my stepmom said, "You should get the David Bowie Let's Dance album or cassette."
On cassette.
On cassette. So
that would have been quite advanced at that time as well. So that wouldn't have been cheap.
No, probably not. No, yeah. So that was my first ever cassette album.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So, but the thing is, so I can go kind of Madness, Aretha Franklin, which spun me off into a soul. So spun me off into a soul kind of interest. Otis Redding, Sam and Dave, all those kind of. If you had a blues and soul best of, it was all those kind of things. Blues Brothers, the movie. That's how I ended up discovering Aretha Franklin, and then I had a little dabble with some soft rock, Heart, and Def Leppard.
Okay, the one-armed drummer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pour some sugar on with that album. And then I hated school discos. The whole 80s kind of thing. It just was my sister lived with us at the time. Just didn't get it at all. Just didn't tune in musically to that at all.
Are they still going?
Who?
School discos. I feel like school discos now are like 2000s and 2010s.
I don't know. Could be too cool. Could be too cool for school kids now to have a school disco.
Yeah.
Drinking bottles of Thunderbirds or whatever the off license would sell you in the park.
Yeah.
Smirnoff Ice.
I love a Smirnoff Ice.
And that's showing your age. There was no such Alco Pops when I was trying to blag school disco booze off the offie. It was Thunderbirds or basically anything they'd sell you, basically.
Yeah.
Doing swigs in the park. No, so Heart, Def Leppard thankfully didn't stick.
Okay.
Little bit in between there, sort of Prince, little bit kind of just different influences.
This is getting more good.
And then house music came along, and that sort of there was a little bit of hip hop in there. Oh, and funk and soul. Yeah, because around the early days of house music and sort of people doing parties and stuff, it was all a mixture of funk and soul and rap, like NWA and Public Enemy and those sorts of times. And then on D-Light, and that's when the house music turned up.
God, yeah, no, but that almost segs into kind of garage in some ways as well. It bleeds house music. Kind of there was a journey that kind of bled it into garage as it went through. That for me was because house obviously had its thing, but then it kind of evolved.
It did
a little bit,
especially in London, which is where you were.
Yeah. Oh, that was proper East London. Yeah.
So did you have a garage thing?
Well, there was a garage thing, but the annoying thing is I didn't get on that wave. For me, music when I was growing up, if it had guitars and it was heavy, it was great. And it was all about the guitar music and sticky dance floors. And it was either you got the grungers or you've got the trendies. And the trendies were the people who were into the garage and the pop music and that sort of shit. My ex used to go to the same school, and she was in the same year or classes. What they call Blazing Squad.
And there's like 30 of them, saying that.
I think I was in it, you know. And so I just had this intrinsic hatred of that. But then as life went on, and I looking back, and you're looking at Craig David, you're looking back at that entire garage era. It's fucking amazing, great music. It's just so perfectly. You so rarely get this music which is of its moment, of its time, of its area as well, and it's identifiable as its own genre. And garage music of that time is just timeless in a way that so much other music isn't.
So you're going back now and catching up on, and we're talking like proper clubbing, underground garage, or are we talking a bit mainstream?
Well, I started with the mainstream, and there is some underground stuff in there. There's some stuff that's slightly less common, but I absolutely loved. But it's definitely a journey that I'm on, and I love hearing. So if anyone does know any really cool garage tracks and that sort of thing, tell me. Give me these tips. Give me these hints, because you don't find them by accident. You have to have someone recommend them to you. So tell me what these things are, and I want to listen.
Oh, I keep posting and keep kind of. There are about 2 or 3 Team Superdad playlists. Yeah, and I keep saying in the group, like, "Oh, let us have your top 10 or whatever." Okay, so we will try and kick this off again. Come on, Team Superdad. Stop ignoring the playlist posts in the Team Superdad group.
Are they collaborative?
Yes, teamsuperdad.com/groups. Get yourself in the group, and we'll make a UK garage playlist, and we'll do it like as a present for Glenn.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah, because like the old CDs when you had to write the tracks
old CDs.
On the CDs.
I'm thinking old tapes
Cassettes.
where you write on the tape and Glenn goes straight to old CDs. That's what 8 years will do to you. 7 years.
You got to burn the CD and write it on there in this weird marker pen and just hope you don't get it wrong.
That's just, even though I'm only 7 years older than you.
But it's such a difference. So when I went traveling around the world, I had a CD player. And on that CD, I got like, the burning CDs. You used to get like a pack of CDs that you could burn in a kind of a plastic case.
Yeah.
And so I basically burned a load of CDs because you could burn like 2 albums onto one disc if you know what you're doing. And I could only take enough music to fill that plastic case. And so I had about 10, 15, 20 albums to take me around the entire globe. Whereas then you go on 7 years and you've got not Spotify, but you had iTunes.
iPad, yeah. iPod, yeah.
And so you had iPods, and so people could take hundreds of albums. And now when you've got Spotify, you've got every album in the fucking world. And so for me, it detracts because you don't listen to the same album over and over and over again. You don't appreciate it as much.
I know.
And so when at the weekend, yesterday I took my girls shopping to get stuff for my sister's wedding. And I said, let's just pop in. We call them treasure shops. They're charity shops, but it's full of treasure. And I said, let's look at the albums. I found now three on vinyl
with a pig on the front.
No,
it's got a pig on the front.
It might do.
Yeah.
It might well do. But now 3 from 1984, and it was brilliant. And so you're sitting there thinking, I'm just going to listen to it. And it's a sort of album you would have bought and you would have listened to over and over and over and over again.
Totally. I Now 3 track list. I loved the Now albums back in that time. Annoyingly though, there'd always be a couple of shit songs that you hated, and then you'd have to work out how much to fast forward them on your Walkman.
Oh, what if they were on a cassette?
Yeah. Okay. So instantly, I can see good songs.
Duran, the Reflex. It's got some Bob Marley and the Wailers.
Love. Wait a minute. White Lines.
Yes.
2 Tribes.
Yeah. 2 Tribes. Like that. Probably top 10 Now albums of all time. Obviously, Now 34 is the best. That's beyond the question. But after Now 34, this is quality. Name a couple of the other great tracks.
I'm trying to bring it up, but it's got some weird Google page where it's here we go. Yeah. Oh God. No. Oh, I've got a touch. Oh, here we go. Pick me up before you go.
Yeah, a bit of Wham on there.
Style Council, You're the Best Thing.
Yep.
You're the Best Thing. Bananarama, Robert De Niro's Waiting. Not a great song, but pop.
Not the best, but it's except today. Most of today's Now albums are just cack.
Cyndi Lauper, Time After Time.
That's a
good song. I can see it as a Phil Collins song, but it's not one of his best ones.
It's not, but it is still quite a good one, actually. So obviously got the Reflex by Duran.
Okay, here we go.
Thinking Sister Sledge has got the Locomotion on there. 2 Tribes, obviously. White Lines is on there. Nelson Mandela, my son. I was listening to it today with my 8-year-old, and he said, "Dad, why are they singing about freeing Nutella?" And I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Yeah, it's free with Nutella." No, it's free Nelson Mandela. I thought let's not try and explain the whole thing to him,
especially this week. Have you seen what's going on in South Africa?
No,
country?
I haven't.
What do you mean you haven't?
I haven't seen what's happening in South Africa.
The place has gone mad.
Has it?
They like tearing up the whole country.
Oh, what?
Literally, but they gone into a shopping mall,
Yeah.
looted the whole place, and then it's like the Nike shop, not a single thing in there, not even the fittings in the shop. They just taken that and then set fire to it.
Fuck
The only shop that's not touched, a bookshop.
I mean, firstly, you got to respect them for. I'd like to think they value knowledge.
No, they just didn't go in there.
Don't want to nick it.
No, so then they've burnt all. They've done the same thing to all the supermarkets.
Oh,
Now they've and then all the roads are just covered in like debris and abandoned cars and burnt. And then they've all like, and I say all, South Africa's a big country, right? So massive generalization here, but so then they've headed down to the ports because they're like, there's nothing left in the shops, so we'll go to where they keep the stuff when it comes off the ships. So they've gone down and ransacked all the warehouses and the docks, but smashed all that as well. So they've smashed up all the infrastructure and madness and scary stuff, like scary, because there's just what humans could degenerate into, basically.
I think you hope that I thought we'd move past that sort of shit, but it seems like we haven't.
Well, we can only be a couple of bad lockdowns away from.
Yeah, after the toilet roll wars of last year.
Well, I know exactly. So, how are we doing on our running order, Glenn? I can see summer holidays is.
Here's the summer holidays.
Have you planned anything?
Well, I hadn't, because there's two things. So I'm lucky enough that I get unlimited annual leave.
Oh yes, you keep saying this. I accidentally ask you about this, and then you get to say that. So it's just basically, it feels like you're rubbing it in.
Oh, I'm
and then so everyone's listening as well. They're punching their dashboard or the middle of the steering wheel. Like if you're listening and you've just punched the middle of your steering wheel, I can fully understand that.
I've been earning it. I mean,
today, I deserve this.
Today has been a fucking good day, and I can't go into too much details because we haven't actually got the contract signed. But today, I've been told that we've won 2 government contracts that I've been working on for a month. So 2 contracts we've won, shortlisted for another. And another London borough has said they absolutely want to work with us, and they're actively pursuing it. And I've found an NHS contract, and they are desperate to work with us as well. So today has been one of the best professional days I've ever had. And I'm sitting here thinking I should be on holiday a lot more often if this is what's happening.
Just avoid those South African requests.
This is just the UK, so I'm all right with this. So I've booked off every week I've got with my kids, which is every other week. So over the summer, I've booked off. So I've got a week. This week I'm off, and then next week I'm working. The week after I'm off, and so on until September.
But are you normal? It doesn't strike me as you being normal. I've got a couple of mates. I think it's their wives that are actually really organised, rather than them.
But I think I've booked it off, but I only realised I'd booked it off last week. So I haven't booked anything for this week other than my sister's wedding. And I'm sitting there thinking, I don't want to just sit around with my kids looking at screens all day. I want to book stuff.
But you have to book it now. You can't just turn up.
And that's the annoying thing. In the past, I just turn up and just do shit. But now you have to book it. So I've started looking and thinking, right, what am I going to do? So I booked tickets to Hampton Court. They've got a food and drink festival on the last weekend of August. Now, I happen to be a member of Royal Palaces. I'm one of those twats. I've got English Heritage and National Trust and all that sort of shit. Royal Palaces is another one. So you get tickets to Hampton Court and the Tower of London and Kensington Palace or whatever. And they've got a food festival happening. So I booked like a load of kids, like 4 or 5 kids tickets, my kids plus if they want to take a friend. And I bought 2 adult tickets. I don't know why, but I thought, let's see if I can find someone. But then realised that as I was chatting, I've invited my mum to come and do it. And I know I wish I could find some sexy lady to do it with. But actually, my mum loves doing that sort of shit. She never goes out. She's not a member of anything. And so it's going to be so lovely. She's going to come down from a Friday to the Monday, stay with us for a few days, hopefully do some gardening because I fucking hate gardening. And she loves it.
And clean that giant toilet in the downstairs toilet that I just spilled and had a wee in.
Well, yes, I tell you what, at least that we flushed. Until last week, that toilet was not flushing properly. And so between my house and next door, we've got a shared like drainway, and they're doing an extension work, and so next door they were like, our toilets ain't draining properly. Like, what's going on? Has there sand gone in? And so we had someone come around. We pulled the drain covers off, and from like drains are really deep. It was that far from the top with fucking shit water and whatever. And it turns out the next door has been like doing flushable wipes that aren't flushing. And so she clogged it all up and backed up. And so none of
those flushables are flipping flushable.
Yeah, don't buy flushables. Or if you do buy flushables, don't flush them.
No, don't. They're totally bad for the environment.
Yeah, they're bad.
But I wasn't mocking your toilet, but it's an old toilet, and it's just amazing how it's like an old car, like one of those big old American cars. Yeah. It literally, when I flushed it, it did flush. It was like a bath. About 20 litres of water. All I did was have a piss. I felt bad.
This whole house.
I could leave a tenner on the side.
Yeah, shit though. Yeah, this whole house is very retro. It was of its moment about 30 years ago, and they never upgraded it. But you know what? It does a job. It keeps the roof over my kid's head.
Of course it does. But it's just interesting how things have evolved.
Yeah,
like
massively.
Toilet. Well, how big's the toilet? Well, obviously it's a toilet. It's going to need too big.
Yeah.
How much water? Well, we don't charge for water. We don't measure water. So obviously we need loads of water.
And not just big avocados as well. Like all the everything in this whole house. It's just awful. You would gut it. You would absolutely. If I bought this place, I would gut it and start again. But
we had when my dad broke up with our stepmom for a while when we were kids. We rented a house. It was bad. We went from like really pucker, cool house, big family house. He picked us up from the airport in an old green Granada estate. Yeah, it was like the Blues Brothers. Like Jake flipping says to Elwood, "Where's the caddy?" Well, I said, we come out of the airport and look at my dad like, "Where's the Mercedes?" He's like, "Oh yeah, got a few things to tell you." So this bathroom at this rented house, dark green.
Nice.
The tiles and the suite, like the toilet, the bath, and the sink.
In the 70s?
Dark green, a dark green bath, toilet, and sink with kind of a jungle kind of effect tiling.
Oh, God.
So basically, a really dark, quite moody bathroom.
I see TikTok, and obviously TikTok like reflects what you're looking for, and so loads of my TikTok is like renovations and stuff, and I see people looking at like stuff that was done in the 90s and the 2000s and 2010, say, "Oh yeah, this is so old fashioned. I'm going to gut it and start again." I was like, fuck off! Like, that's 3 generations newer than mine, and you're getting rid of it. Come on, throw me a bone.
That's why I'd quite like to get into property development.
Oh, definitely would. Yeah,
I don't even know why I haven't. Of all the stupid things
to start with.
I know, but when you watch these property investment clubs, they're like, "Oh, what you need to do, first of all, is be a property sourcer, or get someone else's money, buy a property, flip it, give them back their money, and then you're off and running." They make it sound like so easy. Like,
it is easy if you've got access to 60 or 70 grand up front. Yeah, that's all you need.
Everyone's got an old uncle or something, you know.
I wish.
To be honest, I don't know someone who's going to give me 60 grand, clearly, but part of me thinks it would be easy to find someone who has 60 grand. I just need to go and get the knowledge first.
Yeah,
like, because if
I could do it. I could absolutely do it. And again, there's these TikTok accounts of people who have just teamed up with someone and just said, "You know what, we're going to team up. We're going to make this happen. We're going to do it. We buy it and flip it." And they do it. I know I could absolutely renovate a place. That I could renovate the shit out of it. And I've got half my time free as well. So, like, what else am I going to do?
Yeah, and a fat bonus coming, so you're going to be sweet as.
As well. It's been a good year. But it's just, you need that starting point, and it just doesn't happen for most people.
So if people have been listening carefully, right, they will have noticed that we are basically, it's like a podcast Tinder profile where we've just primed you for the last 45 minutes. You know,
got prime me.
Yeah, we've talked about how much fun you are at a wedding. We've
yeah.
talked about how your fitness regime is incoming.
I'm proper.
We've talked about like you've just dipped in there, like you've got an eye for interior.
I know my chints from my chonts.
Yeah. You like to hang out at royal palaces and other kind of social.
I'm cultured as shit.
Yeah. You're considerate towards your mother.
I love me mum.
Yeah. Your kids' friends like you.
So some of them like me, some of them are scared of me.
So this is like, right. So if you're listening, ladies, husbands of ladies, I think this is a good thing. Rather than the dating apps, which I think are a shocking drain on people's mental health and resilience,
They're awful.
is you ask a friend who knows you and who actually would like you to be happy.
Yeah.
You say, do you know anyone single? Because I would like to not be single anymore. And we could put us together. It's going to be fine. Yeah, that's the strategy.
Okay. Yeah. I hope I'll have more success through this podcast than I have in 4.5 years. Have I asked you before how many people my friends have set me up in 4.5 years with?
Is it low or high?
How many? So 4.5 years. I know a lot of people.
Based on my experience,
yeah,
it'll be almost zero.
It is zero.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, not a single friend has said, you know what? I think I know the perfect person to introduce. Whether it's worked out or not is irrelevant, but not a single person has said, I think I know someone I'm going to set you up with. So
my girlfriend,
if we can beat that, I can go for it.
Well, one is double zero.
Well, I mean, mathematically, we have to talk about this, but I get where you're coming from.
You telling me that's not true?
We've got some learning to do.
It's infinitely larger.
It is. It absolutely is.
So one of my girlfriend's best mates, who I've known since I was about 14.
Okay.
We had a barbecue on, and we can leave people with this, okay? Because it's an important message. So she said, we're having a barbecue on Sunday. We had a few beers at the time. Oh, well, not that many for me, actually. During my whole day, we worked out. I said on Sunday when I was feeling a bit delicate, I was like, oh, I feel a bit hungover. So then Joe said to me, well, how much did you drink? I don't think you drink that much, did you? I said, oh, I think I had about 4, maybe 5 bottles of Bud, a can of Magners, and a can of Strongbow.
Yeah, about the same as my son then.
That's about 4 pints across the whole day. Oh, I felt rough. That's the flip side of keeping fit. So then, but later on in the day, one of the friends, mutual friends of my girlfriend and I, she's going, see, I told you two would get along. So I go, well, how long did you tell her that we would get along for?
Oh, right. So she was saying that you would have got along
She was trying to take credit for setting us up.
Ah, okay.
And to which I said, well, I pinged her on Facebook dating.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how that works. And she said, well, I told her long before that you'd be good together. And I said, well, I saw you at swimming like once a week for about 1.5 years. Why didn't you tell me? Transpired, though, that was during her divorce breakup.
Well, a big part of a rain dance is timing. So sometimes you just got to be at the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. And it sounds like that was a timing issue more than anything.
But good women who know you reasonably well will have single friends who they are desperate to meet someone nice.
Oh, I hope so.
And so dads, if you listen, I think a good strategy is, rather than pour too much time and despair into Tinder, etc., is conjure up the kind of person you'd like to be with, come up with some key points, as we have done for Glenn tonight, about qualities and attributes, interests, musical tastes.
Oh yeah.
We've done that. We have done the whole flipping.
Yeah, I've absolutely laid myself bare here.
Yeah. So do that, and then say to those people, do you know anyone you think that I would get on well with? Because I got no other idea of how to meet anyone.
I'm desperate.
It's a solid tactic, though. It's a solid tactic.
It is indeed.
Okay, so dads, give us feedback on that. We want to know how that's gone. I want to set you up with a couple of people, but I'm not going to.
That's where we go. I'm stuck doing solo stuff. So there's this a website called Hello Solo. They're brilliant. So if anyone is single and you want to do stuff which isn't just like speed dating, they do speed dating, but they don't. What they do is arrange activities. Well, companies who arrange activities do it through them. So if you want to do
like cliff jumping or
anything with happens to be with single people. But I've realised I don't just want to do things. I've done so many speed dating things. I've done so many single activities. I just want to do stuff. So I've decided I'm going to start going to cookery classes or painting lessons or fire eating classes or just random shit, so that I can just learn stuff and do stuff And I'm not even
If she can
expecting
stick a
to meet
red
anyone.
hot poker down her throat,
Easy.
I am all in.
Yeah. I mean, if a gag reflex can deal with that, then. But I'm just past the point of even thinking about meeting someone because it's not happening. It's probably not going to happen. So, and it will happen one day, but I'm not. I've done everything I can, and so I'm just going to start doing stuff for myself. And if something happens, great. If not, then at least I know how to smoke a piece of ham or whatever it is. I'm just going to learn some shit and see what happens.
Yeah. Oh, the runner played golf.
Bit of golf, yeah, maybe. Yeah. I might do some firewalking if I can find somewhere that's going to do firewalking.
Team Superdad's going to do a firewalking event, Glenn.
Really?
Yes, we are with the Beardy Man Adventure Crew in North Wales. I keep saying September, but September's bloody soon. It is
only about 6 or 7 weeks away.
Yeah, so it might not be September. Anyway, watch this space for Team Superdad events. Glenn, this has been fun. It was really uncomfortable to start with, like a first dance at a school disco. Like I said, like, do I put my hand on her ass or whatever? And now we just sat across the table.
I almost forgot the microphone.
I know it's really good. I've no idea if it's going to bloody work. We did a test run.
Only one way to find out.
We did a test run. So we are going to press end broadcast in a second. If you've enjoyed this, any listeners, watchers, if you've enjoyed this, or did we get any comments? No, I don't think we did. Because we didn't know it was going to work. We didn't really tease this out.
No.
If you're listening on the replay or you're listening on the podcast, let us know how you would like us to tell you that the next episode is out. Because then we can make sure you get it. Basically, you'll get it exactly how you want it, as easy as you want. Good to see you, Glenn.
Lovely to be seen in person as well.
In your kitchen, drinking one of your beers, and I'll see you next week.
Hopefully so.
Yeah. Team Superdad out.
This has been Team Superdad. Find us at teamsuperdad.com. Join the program and create the best life ever for you and your children. You are not alone. You're on Team Superdad.